Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to our orientation and training Zoom call. Mike, if you don't mind, I'm going to mute you, and then if you have any questions, you can just unmute. Um, so I don't think Candice is going to make it this evening. She unfortunately hurt her back today, so um, so she's obviously patching and resting. So you just have me for tonight. So I've promised her to try not to make a mess for her to clean up afterwards. But I think we'll be okay. So welcome everybody to training and orientation. And how I like to start this call is to let you know that this is the call where you can ask all your questions. You can ask questions about patches, how to wear them, why do we do it this way, why do we do it that way. And I do the first half of the training and orientation around product and patching, etc. And then the second half of the training, I like to focus then on how to create and build a business, and you ask questions about that. So I'd like to open it up then to anybody who's got any questions about the patches, about deliveries, about ordering, about accounts, anything from that regard. You're welcome to ask those questions now.
I've actually got one question. I just need to know. I had a big mess up with getting my patches
Okay.
because somebody in the courier guy, my patches left Pretoria. They came down to George. They were then sent to Oudtshoorn, then from Oudtshoorn back to Pretoria again. So I think I need to change my address. Can I actually change my address on my website? You know the portal
Yep,
that
in
we
your
get
back
given.
office, you can. Yeah,
Yeah, in my back office.
yeah,
Okay,
you
cool.
can.
Because I think where I live, there's also another complex in Pretoria with the exact same name. And because I didn't put my complex and the annexure, they just this person in George just sent it back. And there's so many of these complexes here in Groenkloof that she just thought, oh, Groenkloof, Pretoria.
Okay.
So
All right.
I think better do that
Yeah, to
than
put more detail in your address so
yeah.
that people can
Okay.
see. Okay. So how you do that is you log in,
Yeah.
and then where you see your name on the top right-hand side, there's that little
Yeah.
down arrow next to it. You click on that, and there you can go into your back office and change your physical address.
Okay.
You
Cool.
can
And then that would be
also,
immediate. Yeah.
yeah, and then also next time you order, when you're in checkout, it'll ask you to confirm your address at checkout.
Okay.
And you can
Okay.
alter it there as well. You can amend it there.
Okay. And then
Okay.
just one more question.
Yep.
My next order is on the 15th of January.
Okay.
Okay. Now I didn't get any indication whether it's going to be a reoccurring order or not.
Did you put it on auto ship?
No, I'm not too
Okay.
sure. Candy did it for me.
Okay.
But let's say if it was auto, would it be the exact same order that I had the first time, or do I
Yes.
still pick?
No, it'll be the same. It'll be whatever you've created in your auto ship. And then if you want to add patches, then you have to go into your auto ship and add it in there because otherwise you'll have two different deliveries and you'll get two delivery costs. So if you
Okay.
want to add to your order, you want to do it at the same time.
And
So
can I minus from that order?
yes, you can cancel
Because
it and you can do a manual order every month if you prefer.
yeah, I
The
prefer.
thing is to just be aware that
Yeah.
if you're not on auto ship, then you have to make sure you know when your patches are going to run out.
I know
And
that's
often
fine.
because we just open the sleeve and we just pull one out, you like just keep doing that, and then all of a sudden you notice, oh flip, I've only
I
got
know.
three left, and it takes 3 to 5 days to get it delivered, then you're going to run out before you get your next delivery. So that's the advantage of being on order ship. And then also from a business perspective, if you're building a business, in order to stay active, prior to being a manager, you need 55 PV per month
Mm,
per 31
mm.
days. And once you're manager and above 110 PV per month. And if you don't keep that up, then what happens is you go inactive. And when you go inactive, you lose your rank and you lose the point value, the business volume that you have in your business. Now, it's not a train smash because we have a whole week, right? As there's, the week is a cycle. So you've got from Monday morning till Sunday night to place your order in that week. And then as soon as you place your order, your active status comes back and your volume comes back, no problem. If you miss it though, then you lose the volume for that week. So then
Okay.
you'll start from zero on the Monday morning. So there is the advantage of being in the auto ship, but then you can just go in and you can update the auto ship and say, okay, I want to add in whatever patch it is. And if you don't want that every month, then once it's shipped, go in and alter it and amend it again. Does that make sense?
I think I'll have to run through it with somebody
Yeah. So we can go,
because I
we can do a separate Zoom call if you like, and we can log in and we can screen share and then we can like just move around and I'll show you.
okay, Jenny, yeah. No, that's
Okay.
fine. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
With regards to the patches and that, I've been using the Aeon.
Yeah.
Can you put the Aeon on the back of by your coccyx area?
If you get an awareness that that's where your body would like it to be, you can. You can basically put the patches anywhere.
Okay.
However, you do get a pamphlet with your sleeve. You should have had a pamphlet with
Yes,
your
yes,
sleeve
I did.
that shows you all the different positions. So if you have a look there, it'll show you, because I think there's a few positions that you can use Aeon on the body, but you can patch anywhere. It's just also the clinical studies and the clinical trials have been done with those positions. Does that make sense? Which is why they have it in the pamphlet to say like X39 either below the belly button at the base of the neck, because that's where the clinical studies have been
Clinical track, I
done.
understand. I
Yeah, yeah.
understand now. Yeah.
So, but you
Because
can put
yeah,
X39 anywhere. When I fell on the rocks and grew an extra knee, I put A on one side and X39 on the other. So I
okay.
actually changed the positions for that day and put it closer to where I'd hurt myself. So
Okay, I understand that, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I understand about the clinical trial because on the Aeon it's got nothing. It's got on the wrists and the feet and by your belly button. I think.
okay,
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. There's a few
no, but that's
positions.
fine.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
try to. Definitely try tonight because I found that when I put the Aeon, and in the evenings, I suffer very badly from quite a bad neck. In
okay,
the mornings when I normally wake up, my neck is quite sore. But
okay,
since I've been using it, I think I've been using the Aeon for about probably a week now. I
okay.
definitely have felt a lot better with the Aeon.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Aeon is used mainly at night too.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, that's cool. All right. No, that's fine.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for your
Otherwise, yeah, it's
question.
just trial and error now. Eh? I mean, not trial and error, it's just trial.
Well, it's experiment, to see where your
Yeah.
body prefers and where it works better for you. Because obviously everybody's bodies are different and whatever's going on in the body is different. So we've grown up in different parts of the country. So we've had different nutrition, different genetics. We've got different injuries, different illnesses, different
Yeah.
whatever. So it's like, what is a really cool way to play with your body is to like, if you stand up straight and have your feet together, then you ask your body to show you a no and notice which way your body moves. Sometimes, usually, people's bodies move forward on a yes, and then you say, okay, body, show me a no, and it'll move backwards. So your question is, body, show me a yes, it'll move forwards. And then if you say, body, show me a no, it moves backwards. Usually, sometimes people are the other way around, but it's basically to just relax into that and allow your body to move. Then you can hold the patch in your hand and say, okay, body, do you want this on the belly button? And it'll go backwards. Body, do you want this on the neck? And it'll move forwards. So you can use
Okay.
your Aeon patch and say, okay, body, does it need to be where the book tells me? Do you know what I mean? It's like, is it one of those positions in the book? And it'll go, no. And then you can say, okay, can I put it on the coccyx? And it'll give you a yes. And if it's not there, it'll give you a no. Then you ask, okay, top part of the body, yes. Shoulder, no. Neck, yes. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
And you can just ask
yeah.
questions like that. It's a pretty cool way to like figure out where your body is going to benefit the most from the patch.
It
So
actually sounds hocus pocus, but I can believe you. I think
yeah,
I reckon you're right because
yeah. So
I've
I do
heard
it.
it's
So,
your positives and your negatives.
well, your body has an innate wisdom. It
Yeah.
knows. The body knows. It has a consciousness. I mean, if you think the heart knows how to pump blood around the body. The lungs
Yeah.
know how to breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide. The skin knows, like how to be skin. The toe knows how to wiggle. There's a consciousness in that. Do you know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
you are not physically going wiggle my toe and then concentrating on wiggling your toe. Do you know what I mean? The toe, when you say wiggle toe, the toe knows how to wiggle. So
That's right.
there's consciousness within the body that, like, as you start to get more communion and connection with your body, then you start it's almost like a friendship and a relationship develops between you and your body.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
that's
quite
fine.
fun to play with. And I do that with X39. Then I ask my body, X39 neck or belly button. And then so every day I ask my body, where do you want the patch to be?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
and I did it with my family. They were here for Christmas. And I was like, said to my niece, she had some kind of allergic reaction to something. So we had like the antihistamine and the patch. And then we asked her body what it wanted. And she was quite amazed. She's going, wow, who knew that your body would respond like that? So, and
Wow.
of course the body wanted the patch, but
Of course. Okay, cool. Thanks, Jenny.
it's a pleasure. Cool. Deb, I've got some questions in the thing here as well. Okay,
I've
cool.
answered the ones
Okay,
there.
Debs, go with your questions and then I'll
I
leave
just
the
wanted to
chat.
give Mike a little word of guidance that when you do go into your back office and you press on your top right-hand corner, I had to do this for a friend of mine today in Portugal. She is a brand partner, but her um, patches went to another place, much like what's happening with you a little bit, but in a different country. Go to change settings. Don't go to profile. Go to change settings. And that's where you'll find all your address and everything. And we had actually left out a number. So it made sense. And
Mm,
so she received her patches. I just wanted to let him know where to go. Don't go to
thank
your
you.
profile, go to change settings.
But
Thanks, Debbie.
yeah,
You're
okay,
welcome.
thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so Rita's asked what is PV? So PV stands for point value. And you get point value on the patches. So every time you purchase a patch, you get point value that's attached to that. So X39 and X49 have 77 point value, and all the other patches have 55 point value. And the reason why patches have point value is because LifeWave is in 75 countries around the world. And if we had it in dollars and then people in Europe have it in euros, it starts making things a little bit weird in terms of when you're adding up volumes within people's networks. So PV is really like a international currency for the patches. That's kind of like how I like to describe it. So when you purchase an X39, there's 77 point value that you have, that's your personal volume. Then when you introduce someone to the business and they do get an X39, they have 77 point value in their business. And now that volume adds up into your business, which now becomes business volume. So now when the next person orders X39, that's another 77 PV. So now you've got 77 plus 77, so 154 now becomes your business volume. So it adds up all the personal volume of all the individuals, and then the total of that becomes your business volume. And then that's how the cycle bonuses are calculated, which I'll explain in the second half of the meeting this evening. So I hope that gives that point value some context. Okay, I did do that. Can you wear X39 during the day, then A at night? Yes. You can wear both during the day, but it is suggested X39 during the day and AON at night. I will put in the WhatsApp group, there is a graphic where it shows what patches to wear during the day and what patches to wear at night. Deb, if you wouldn't mind either finding that graphic or making a note so we can remember to put it in, I would really appreciate that. You can wear them together. Okay, cool. I've been there. Okay, personal volume, PV, global measurement unit, correct. Uh, okay, cool. I think I've got all the questions in the chat. Okay, any other questions?
Hi, Jane. Ridwana here.
Hi, honey, how are you?
Good on you.
Good, thank you.
Listen, just mention about if you like buy, because I got caught up on this once or twice, that if you buy like let's say Aeon, for example, and you buy three at most, then that personal volume reduces. So if somebody wanted to make sure they were on 110 as a manager, it's not 55, it reduces because your cost per
Because of the
patch is
discount, yeah.
less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So if
So
you
we
buy
just need to
one,
be careful.
well, oh, yeah, be aware. So if you buy one of the supplementary patches, it's 55 PV, but if you buy two, you get a discount, so the PV reduces, and if you buy three, you get a bigger discount, and then the PV obviously correspondingly reduces, because if you're paying less, you can't have the same point value attached. So thank you
Yeah,
for that.
100%.
Cool. PV is your own purchases plus your preferred customer points. Yes, correct. So if you have preferred customers, which are different to brand partners are signed up and part of your binary system, which is part of your network. But if you sign up preferred customers, their personal PV gets added to your personal PV. So that does help in terms of maintaining your active status, which I'll explain in the business part, your active status. And then if there's any excess, the excess PV goes into, rolls into your weakest leg, which has the less points. So there's that. Any other questions around personal PV products, when to wear them, how to wear them? Put them on your forehead. Like you walk around all day with them on the forehead, everybody's going to ask you, what are you doing? Be such a good way to meet new people and introduce them to LifeWave, don't you think? You can say, this is going to beam me up. I am now anointed with having lots of wisdom. No, I'm joking. So to just give you how that does actually help. So Patrick, my dog, has Aeon at night. Yeah, it works actually. I use my dog. Exploit your dog. It works quite well. So Patrick, my dog, had just over a year ago, it's like nearly a year and a half ago now, he all of a sudden overnight started losing control of his back legs and they started slipping out from underneath him. And took him to the vet. He has something, but basically the communication from the nerves in the spine wasn't getting down to the feet. So his feet were like slipping out, and it was only like kind of when he felt it in his hips, you like realize he has to bring his feet back together again. And I've been patching him with his own Aeon at night, and he gets my X39 as well. So I take it off at night and then I put it on him. And last week, we were able to wean him off the gabapentin, which is an epilepsy medication that they had prescribed for him to get the communication to go through, because he's now got full control. He had like 95% control back of his legs. And then all of a sudden, it just stopped. He's like, so now we're switching him and taking him off the Rimadyl, which is the pain medication, because that's not really good for his organs. And we're putting him onto Pentazan now, which is better. There's less side effects for the arthritic stiffness that he has. But he's 13 years old. And it actually has like, I mean, it's not expected for a dog. You like manage the symptoms and try and keep him as comfortable. For him to actually have reversed it like that is pretty special. I'm pretty impressed, I must say. So why was I saying that? Why was I telling you the story about, oh yeah, walking around with a patch. Okay, so you can put the patches on the collar. You can attach it to the collar. You can, because they work both ways around, and then you just like stick it on the outside so that obviously the patch is exposed. But with Patrick, I actually put it directly on his spine. I put the Aeon on his spine at night between his hips. And then my X39, he allows me to shave his tummy. So I stick it on his tummy. Sometimes it needs some micropore to stick if it's not sticky enough, but that's how I managed to do it. So this morning, I had people come in to quote for my removals, and I had someone come to look at a piece of furniture that I'm selling, and he's walking around with his patch on, and both of them asked me, what is that? And I was able to give them the information, and they're both interested in the patches. So I sent them info. So, and I've actually had someone sign up. I have a brand partner signed up last year because she came to visit me and saw he was wearing his patch. So, exploit your dogs. Take them for walks with patches on. It works. Yeah. So if not, otherwise stick it on your forehead. It'll raise some questions. Cool. Any other questions? Okay, amazing. So then I'm going to move into the business side. So once you've signed up and you have started using your patches and you notice that you just happen to tell people about them because you're getting great results or because you hear somebody saying something about their health or some issue or whatever, and you now start talking to people about LifeWave. So what do you do now once you're a brand partner and if you want to get serious about creating this as a business? What I love about this business is a few things. And I never thought that I would be in love with being someone doing networks. I've done networks before. I'm a recycled networker. I was the one that used to run around with expensive toothpaste saying that it's the best thing since sliced bread. A lot of people, said, you've got to be joking because you can buy it for a tenth of the price in the shop. It's just toothpaste. I mean, but anyway, I learned a lot from that network business. And I learned a lot about working with people, setting goals, being a leader, stuff like that. And that information actually helped me a ton to build a very successful corporate career. So that's how I benefited from that. And in fact, that network, I still generate a small income every month. So it's not like I'm not ever knocking network marketing as such, but I just didn't think that I was going to do it again. However, in 2020, when there was lockdown, because my business is very in person and has high overheads, I realized actually the actual business model of my existing business wasn't really working for me. As much as I loved what I was doing, the actual running of the business side of it was quite tricky. So what I love about this business is one, it doesn't cost a lot to get involved. It's $25 to create an account, and then you're purchasing your patches. Now, your patches are not even really a business expense because this is it's like eating good food or buying supplements or vitamins or something like this. This is taking care of your health. So it's a business expense as such. This is something that you're doing to take care of your health. And I always say to people, put yourself first and take care of your health first. That has to be your number one priority. So then you commit to using X39 every month, and you commit to using X39 for as long as you want to stay healthy and fit and young, etc. And it's like people say, like, how long do you have to brush your teeth for? Well, only for as long as you want them to not fall out. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you don't mind falling out, you just stop brushing your teeth. So it's like that's like the commitment you make to yourself and to your body. So if you look at it from that perspective, we have hardly any overheads. You literally need a Zoom account, a laptop, and your phone and the internet. And most of us have that already anyway. Zoom, you can get the first 40, if you sign up on the basic whatever, you can get it for free. And you can do Zoom calls for 45 minutes. And then if you get kicked off, you just hop back on again for another 45 minutes. So your Zoom account doesn't even have to cost you money. Most of us have the internet and most of us have phones. So your overheads are minimal, minimal, minimal. To get started, it doesn't cost a lot. It's like if you're ordering one X39 a month, it's your 2,200 Rand to get started. And then after that, it's your monthly expense to take care of your body. Or if you sign up on Core, it's about 6,000 Rand. And if you sign up on Advanced, it's probably about 12,000 Rand, 11,000. Actually, I think it's about 11,000 Rand. And then Premium obviously is about 25, I think, if you're doing it in Rand terms. If you think that you are creating a business that is going to generate ongoing income, it's going to be increasing all the time because as your networks grow and your momentum gets more, so your income is going to increase every week. It's a very small price to pay for a business that can create so much for you. So just get that perspective of when you are looking at upgrading or putting some more money into buying patches, or perhaps even if you want to buy a bit of stock or whatever, just keep that in mind that the overheads and the capital input is extremely low, which makes a network marketing business very attractive to people who don't have a lot of money. If you want to start, I mean, for me, I think to tell you in my existing business, for me to keep my licenses, and that doesn't take into account the amount of money I spent to get them in the first place. Just for me to renew my licenses every year costs me 240,000 Rand. Just to renew my licenses. Then to teach classes around the country, it's flights, venue hire, printing costs, getting someone to take care of my animals, taxis, accommodation, etc., etc. So just to give you a perspective on a traditional business, the overheads that come with that and a network marketing business is like chalk and cheese. So when people say it's too much, it's too expensive, just keep that in mind. Of course, people have that perspective if they don't have a lot of money. Totally understandable. But don't let them change your point of view about the advantages of having a network marketing business, that you have low overheads and very small capital to get started with. Then you have the capacity to create an international global business because it's online. Now, in the original network marketing business I did, I could only build it in South Africa. We couldn't take it outside because we didn't have the technology at the time or the internet or anything like that. That's really aging me now, right? It's like I did a network marketing business before the internet and Zoom. But that's the advantage now with technology is we can build a global business. The other thing is you're earning international currency. We are earning in dollars. That's a huge advantage because once you convert it into rands, it looks quite pretty. And you're getting paid weekly. So if you're used to getting paid monthly, now you're getting paid weekly. You don't have that where you run out of money in the last week. You know the salty cracks ad where you start off with the salty crack and it's got all the caviar and all the kinds of things on it, and then you get to day 28 and it's just the salty crack, and day 29 it's an empty box. You don't run out of money before you run out of months now with this kind of business because you're getting paid weekly, which is amazing. What else are the advantages to network marketing business? We don't have to handle stock. We don't have to handle people's orders. We don't have to handle their money. Everything is done directly with LifeWave. So once people have their account, they hop on online, they do their own order, they get it delivered directly to their home. No mess, no fuss. Unless, of course, you don't have all the numbers in your address. Then it goes a little bit around the country and eventually you get it. But generally speaking, it's usually quite easy to get your products delivered. And it doesn't matter where in South Africa. I've got people that are like 3 hours out of Cape Town and they're getting their products within 5 working days. So it really is an amazing system. What else is the advantage in network marketing? You build relationships. So you actually start developing really amazing relationships with people that you're in business with. The other thing is also people don't work for you. You know, when you're in a corporate environment or you're employed, you like working for someone. So there's always pressure on production and there's always pressure on, sales and profitability and things like that. We don't have those kind of pressures in this business. We work as a community. We work together. We're all about empowering each other, teaching each other, uplifting each other, encouraging each other, because as we all become more and more successful, so all of us become more and more successful. It's really so amazing like that. There's like no competition, right? Because it's like everybody is contributing to everyone and we're all expanding together. So there's a lot of advantages to network marketing businesses. And I actually have to say that in my first time round as a network marketer, I used to take all the no's and all the rejection very personally. And also, I was very aware of people's judgments. Oh, here comes the soap salesman. Here comes the toothpaste salesman. Do you know what I mean? And there was always this stigma that was attached to what I was doing. But this time round, I don't feel that stigma at all. And in fact, I like to say, I actually was thinking about it today. I'm pretty proud to be a network marketer and to be promoting LifeWave, to be quite honest. I think this is really a flippin' amazing business, an amazing business model. And the product is just changing so many people's lives. And so you're changing people's lives from a health perspective and a wealth perspective. So get that posture within you, get that settled energetically, or your attitude within you that this is really a huge contribution to many, many people. Don't let other people's points of view detract you from that at all. So that's from having a network marketing business as such. So yeah, here I am being a proud network marketer who knew that 20 years on I would be doing this again, but there we go. So if anybody has any questions about how to go manager, where do you want me to start? Do you want to know how to do orders? Do you want to know how to go manager? Do you want to know how to talk to people? Do you want to know how to do follow-ups? Do you want to know how to do people, sign people up? What do you want to know? This is your forum to ask all these questions. There's obviously a lot of training in the toolbox and on the website, but it's also nice to be able to ask in person. Am I assuming everybody knows what to do? How
No,
does it get
Jen,
better than that?
can I just speak into the nose, which is
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Um, I think it's quite a big subject because I have found, particularly over this festive season, I have spoken to a lot of people, and it's great. And get back to New Year, and that's what I'm doing right now. Um, I think it's just to keep yourself pumped up and inspired to continue and not allow all the well maybe and I can't do it this month and and I don't think putting a desperate energy on anything works at all.
mm,
So I've had a few experiences that I've had to check myself, and I'm sharing
yeah,
this only because it's my experience, and I've had to really check myself and go, okay, not
mm,
today, and then I go on to something else. I do know that all the recordings and trainings to be plugged in more and more and more and more and more is incredibly valuable. And I
yeah,
think that is a very big thing for
yeah,
new people starting out. And we don't need to know it all. We really don't need to know it all. And I love it when somebody asks me a question and go, I'll get back to you. And then 10 minutes later, I go and I look for it and I'll get back to them.
yeah,
And I just think that's something for us all to keep in mind when we're sharing, because also, I'm going to bring this up. There was somebody on the call last night. I told you about it. She loved the product thing. And then the minute we went into the business situation, she was completely put off because she had an experience with another company, which, okay, fine. And my answer to her was, she's like, I just don't want to be sold on this all the time. And I don't want to do the business and I don't need the business. I'm like, okay, just patch, just patch. And it felt really good to just go, I totally get it. That's your point of view. Just patch. So I think if people don't want to build a business, we have to respect that too and just let that part of it go. Because of course we are looking for builders. Come on, let's face it. I mean, truth be told.
yeah.
Let's
We
face it.
are, but it's very much about meeting people where they're at. And I
Correct.
mean, if you look at, like, for me personally, I joined March, I can't believe I'm going to have to say this, 2023.
So did I, Jen.
February, somewhere around there, 2023. And I didn't do anything until March, April last year. Do you know what I mean? And it was definitely, I don't want to do network marketing. I'm very interested in using the patch, but don't ask me to like do the salesy thing and whatever. So yes, it is. And thank you for that, because the thing is, we often, because we know how amazing the patches are, and because we know how amazing the business side is, we try and convince people to do it. You don't want to convince anybody of anything, sorry, because otherwise you come in with that like forceful, pushy energy that they have to do something. Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to like that. As soon as people feel that, they kind of like back off, and then they start doing this. And as soon as somebody starts doing this, you're kind of in a bit of trouble. So my suggestion for this is to always ask questions. Is like, ask people, okay, so are you interested? And when I do follow-ups with people, I say to them, and even at the end of like talking to them in an initial contact, it's like, okay, so look at it from two perspectives. One, how can X39 help you from a health perspective? And do you know anybody that can benefit? Is there anybody in your immediate circle, friends and family, that have got anything going on with their body, that X39 can benefit them? And then I said, then there's also a business side to it. And if you're interested in generating an extra income, we can talk about that later. So I personally, that is how I do it because that matches my personality. But yours might be different. You know what I mean? You've got to find your own sweet spot as how you can talk to people that you're being you. It's all about you've got to be you. Don't try and be something that you're not trying to force something on someone because that's what some training has told you to do. Please don't do anything that goes against your personality as such. Now, there is obviously that side where you've got to be willing to stretch yourself and stretch yourself out of your comfort zone in terms of, oh, I want to go talk to someone. And you're like scared to go. I mean, like in the beginning, even though I'm in coaching, I found when I first started this business, I was like, oh, I'm like, what are they going to say? Or what are they going to think about me? These are like my friends or my people that I've done other things with. You know what I mean? And it took me a bit to like work through that. So that's like, to empower yourself, stretch yourself, and expand personally is one thing, but to try and be a different personality to what you are, I would suggest don't try and do that. Do you know what I mean? Don't like change your personality for this at all. Um, but anyway, so then when you're like talking to people, just say, hey, let's just look at it from a health perspective. Is this something that you'd be interested with? Taking care of your own body for health, or do you have any issues with your body, etc.? And then if you want to create a business with it, we can do that. And I do that in the follow-up as well. So, and then ask questions and just say, what part of this are you interested in? Are you interested in the health side and creating a business, or just the health side? Because then people don't have to come at you with that point of view, because when people come at you with a point of view like that, they're trying to defend it. And then they think as soon as you say something to them, they're going to defend it some more. Rather question, ask people questions rather than just change it around a little bit. Now, obviously, it's not always going to work in every scenario. Do you know what I mean? So when somebody says, I'm not interested in the business, you go, well, that's totally fine. I wasn't interested in the business in the beginning either. Let's just talk about patching for you. So your answer to say, well, just patch is perfect. It's like, no,
Yeah.
we don't want to force people into doing this business. That's not going to help anyone. It's let people choose where they're at and meet them where they're at, so that they can then take it further from there. The key is to not take anything personally. When people say no, when people say they're not interested in the business, when people say, I don't want to be forced into anything, it's not personal. That's all something that's going on in their own head, right? It's like they don't want to be forced. That's not saying you're forcing them, but if you take it personally, then you're going to kind of think, oh, that's implying that I'm forcing them into something. No, it's not that. So don't take that personally. Be in total allowance with whatever they say. It's like, okay, cool. Then you don't have to build a business. If somebody says to you, I mean, sometimes people ghost you. Like you'll send them all the information and say, yeah, I'm really interested in this and I've got this autoimmune disease and I'm very interested in extra income. And then you follow up with them 2, 3 days later and they don't get back to you. They totally ignore you. You know what I mean? It's like that happens too.
Yeah.
Don't take that personally.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's just always going to be, okay, who else can I talk to? Make one more phone call. I love that. That's something that Harvey said in one of our meetings. He said, it's just one more phone call. Just make one more phone call. Who can you follow up with? Who can you chat to find out, hey, have you had your patches yet? How's it going? Or 2 months after somebody's been patching, you've called them up and say, hey, have you noticed any changes in your body yet? How's it going? Do you have any questions? Make another phone call because you want to keep the energy going in your business. And so it's not like you don't have to it's got to always be new people or it's always got to be follow-ups or whatever. Just make a call. And whatever shows up in your awareness is like, oh, I haven't spoken to such and such for a while. Let me phone them and see how they're doing. You get the energy, you keep that energy and that momentum going within your business. And because you are energetically involved with your business, all of a sudden people show up. And that's what I've noticed. It's like this week, people have just randomly shown up. You know what I mean? I had the 2 people today from the moving thing and selling stuff. The person that came to look at my fridge last week, his wife couldn't turn her neck, and I gave her an Aeon patch. I said, "Hey, what do you think about light and energy and frequency healing?" Oh, no, I'm open to that. I said, "Okay, cool. This is how it works. You put the patch on, It's non-transdermal. It's just going to put light and frequency into your body. Let me know how it goes later. And they messaged me in the afternoon. My wife's amazed. She can't believe that she can move her neck all of a sudden. Okay, cool. Would you like some more information? Yes, please. Do you know what I mean? And these kind of things start showing up in your life because you're keeping the energy moving and because you're like in that energy of I am a professional networker. I am building a multi-million-dollar business. Have that attitude when you're creating your business. And don't take anything personally. I know it's hard in the beginning, but it's pretty much get a tough skin and keep your heart soft. So, that would be my suggestion. And when anybody says no or not now or whatever they say, it's totally fine. Say, okay, cool, no worries. I'll ping you again in 3 to 6 months' time and see if anything's changed. And most of the time people say, cool, thank you very much. And then I get back to people in 3 to 6 months' time and they're going, oh, so much has changed in my life. Okay, I'm ready to look at this now. And I've had that too. So it's never a permanent no. It's just not now. And you can say to them, I will get back to you in a few months' time or not. It's totally up to you. Find your sweet spot. Find what works for you. And just know that when people say no to you, it's not personal. It's just whatever they're either ready for or not ready for in their own lives. Does that help?
Huge.
Cool.
Can I add something here?
Sure.
Well, I think what Debs was referring to earlier definitely resonates for the season because although I did have a bit of a hiccup health-wise, up in PE where I went on holiday with different people who I thought would be very interested, I got the no's. But realizing it's Christmas, family, food, booze, and all the other things, beds, and all those sort of complications in people's lives, and then wanting to meet other people and all the rest of it, realized it was a bad time, but a great time to say what I was doing. And just left it at that. I got 2 no's, but I know they'll come back.
Yeah.
The point that I want to make about one of the things that Deb said there was obviously being sort of incapacitated for a short while. I was concerned about the business and putting the energy in. And actually, that's not been a problem over the last couple of days. I just said to myself, look, just slow down and get on with it. And you've got a couple of people who have come back to you. And really because I haven't been back to them. And now just put it in that perspective, because I said I would be in touch, but have a good Christmas and all the rest of it. And I explained to them that I've been incapacitated this morning. And they said, tough luck. And that they hadn't actually had time to get onto any of the presentations, but how good that I'd reminded them, and they'd be coming back as soon as they've sorted themselves out because they've still got other things to do and they've been hectic.
Yeah.
So that was the answer. And one of the things that you have said before, Debbie said it, Candice said it, is you'd be surprised how people come back 8 months later.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Because if you peel the onions and don't try and push yourself, other than your own excitement or belief in the product and putting that across to them, if you peel the onion, you can find out where they're at, and you very often find out a lot more information about them, which gives you the in to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
So
and it's about building a relationship. It's a long-term game. It's not a short-term, right? It's a long-term.
And I think if you do that long-term thing,
yeah.
Yes, I'm absolutely convinced that good people I phoned today will be joining up within the next 2 or 3 months. Now that doesn't worry me. Got a few people already, and it will build more and more and more. And a lot of those will come back later.
Yeah,
and they will come back later.
And even people that join you, I had 2 people that joined me in April last year. So when I first got started, when I got serious, I had these 2 people. They were like the first 2 people that I sponsored on my right leg, I think. And then they did a couple of things and then life happened, right? And they didn't do anything. Both of them today came back to me today and said, okay, we're ready now. I was like, wow, how cool is that? So this 8, 9 month thing seems to be quite interesting. in how it takes a while to like you keep following up with people and talking to them and nurturing the relationship and just being open for when they're ready, and just dropping in like now and again. I'd like just drop in some information. You just like keep that connection and just keep on, now and again, just keeping in contact. So yeah, thanks for that, Simon. Ridwana, you, yeah, exactly, Alana, you keep planting seeds. So to answer your question about how long it takes to get people in, it can take up to 8 to 9 months, and it can take a lot of follow-up. So it's kind of when you get that like I've in the beginning I was like, I'm not doing lists of people. I'm just going to do this organically because I'm not going to do it the same way, like network marketers have trained me in the past. I'm not going to do that. So it was like talking to all these people and then realized, flip, I have no idea who to follow up with because I can't remember who I talked to. Like, so they're going, okay, I guess I need a list and I need to get more organized. So now when I have the list, I actually put a date on when I first speak to them, and when I follow up, I put another date so that I can see. And then I go through the list and I'll go say, okay, I haven't followed up with this one for like 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something. Or something comes across my path and I go, oh, and then like I see a video or a testimonial and I'm going, oh, I remember such and such. And then I'll send them the testimonial, say, hey, I was thinking about you today. This came across, I found this, whatever. And then I make a note of when I followed up. And a lot of the people that have like, even people that say that they're going to sign up, and then you follow up and say, okay, let's jump on a call and do the sign up, also hasn't happened yet. So it's about nurturing the relationship, being patient. Watch out for an attitude where you think you're going to run out of people, or if you don't get people to say yes to you, that means you're not successful. You've got to watch out for what does that no mean to you or that not now mean to you, because if you turn it and give it some meaning, it'll affect your energy and your attitude. So if somebody says no to you and you're going, oh, that means I didn't say the right thing, or I didn't give them the right information, or maybe I was too pushy, or maybe I didn't follow up in time, or maybe I did something wrong. If you make that no mean something to you, you're going to drain your energy and you're going to reduce, you're going to like affect your attitude. So just watch out for that. Don't let anything mean anything unless you need to learn something. Oh, I actually need to know a little bit more about X39. Oh, I need to know a little bit more about phototherapy. That's the only time you will use that no. And you use that no to your advantage. You don't use it to disempower yourself. So I would just like be cautionary with that. Sorry, Ridwana, I started talking again. Please ask your question. I have a tendency to,
No,
my
no
mouth runs
problem.
away with me.
It happens, don't worry. You're
Yeah.
passionate about it. Um, yeah, I just wanted to give him my 2 cents. At the beginning, it was difficult, the nose.
Yeah.
And as time went, and obviously plugging into the meetings, you became more confident. You obviously patching, you're seeing what it does for you.
Yeah.
Then I found that my posture, as you said, got stronger.
Improves. Yeah.
And it's like water off a duck's back.
Mm-hmm.
My saying now is you're either in my frequency or you're not, and I just move on. And it's like my no's are, it's just not for now, and when the time is right, it's okay. I found people that have said no, but then maybe they fell or hurt their knee or got sick, then it plugged in their
Yeah.
heads, oh, but one was talking about patches.
Yeah.
And then they approached me that way, which I find is weird. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody to come to
Sure.
me in that way,
Yeah.
but that is
Push up.
what has happened.
Yeah.
And obviously, another popular thing that's come up is obviously the um, pyramid schemes and stuff. But if you know a bit more about the fact that the company's in existence for 20 years, it's international, more than 80 to 85 countries, and is growing more and more. Are you telling me every country's government is kind of like idiots if this was like a pyramid scheme? So
Yeah.
it's just kind of throwing it back at them. Don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
But Sandy Feet had a good presentation in the Joburg convention that we had here with Chris and Lucinda, where she actually explained it actually quite nice that everything in life is a pyramid scheme. So
That's
why
true
make
too.
this
Yeah.
so special?
Yeah.
So that resonated with me a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I just got stronger in terms of the nose. It doesn't impact me as much. It just means you're not ready now and it's okay.
Yeah. Or they just don't have enough information yet. So, I
Yes.
mean, I had someone say to me the other day, I'm too old. And I go, well, what does that mean? And she says, no, I'm 75. And I heard that the patch doesn't work anymore once you turn 70. And I'm going, wow, I wonder. So I'm going, no, that's not true. And I gave her the example of Sandy having built a huge business, and she's either in her 70s or 80s. Um, so, but so you just got to like ask questions as well. It's like, okay, so, would you mind telling me why you're saying no? And they can say, oh, because it's a pyramid scheme. And then you can address that, so yeah, I know pyramid schemes are illegal, but this company's been around for 20 years and it's about to hit $1 billion this year. Um, and it's highly regulated. Network marketing companies are highly regulated. They have to have a compensation plan that is performance-based, not position-based. If it was an illegal pyramid scheme, it would be position-based, which means the person on the top will always earn the most money. But in a performance-based compensation plan, it's the person that does the work that earns the most money. So it doesn't matter where you're positioned in the network. If you're not building a network, you don't get paid. And if you have someone in your business that's built a bigger business than you, they're going to get paid more than you. That is a proper compensation plan for a network marketing business. And those things is like now, it's like when somebody says, oh, it's a pyramid scheme and they still don't want to change their mind, it's for you then to go and research the difference between a legal network marketing business with a good compensation plan and what a pyramid scheme is. So that would be where I'd say use that note to your advantage, because you need a little bit more education so that you know how to address that next time, but not to make yourself wrong because somebody thinks it's a pyramid scheme. I remember when I got that the first time, it makes you feel quite horrible because you're going, oh, sure, but does this mean now that I'm doing something illegal and I'm telling my friends and family about some kind of scam? It's like it does put doubt in your world. So you just got to be willing to educate yourself. And like Ridwana says, get your posture up and get your confidence up and know your stuff so that it doesn't matter what people say to you. It doesn't change your perspective about your business and you can move on with a lot more ease. So yeah, thank you for that.
Just one more last thing.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing was they say, okay, if I start patching, how long should I patch for? Then I tell them, look, it's recommended at least 3 months before you decide, but actually it's 1 month for every decade. And then they're like, oh, is this like for the rest of my life? And then I was like thinking about it when that came to me first. I was like stunned. And now I eventually just say, like, okay, do you brush your teeth every day? And they say yes. And I'm like, okay, why? And then I'm like, it's kind of like the same thing. It's to preserve your health. Um, you
And make
know,
sure your teeth
it,
don't fall out.
exactly. So because they
Only
always
brush
stunned
the
about,
ones that you want
oh,
to
it's
keep.
I'm like, okay, why don't you stop brushing your teeth then?
Yeah. And
So,
it's also like
funny
if
thing.
if people are like prescribed medication for some condition, they don't try it for 1 or 2 days to see if it works. They like doctor says to them, you've got to be on this for a certain amount of time and then come back for tests or checkup or whatever. It's not an overnight thing. So it's very interesting how people like they were like want to try it for 1 or 2 days to see if it works, but they've been sick for years. It's like yeah, people are you've got to be willing to be gentle with people and educate them into this is a commitment and it's not a couple of days. Um,
100.
yeah, so thank you for sharing that and bringing that up. So how long does it take usually for you to prospects? Okay, we've addressed that. It could take months and a few follow-ups in between. And then, yep, Ilana, you keep planting seeds. And then Malika, doctors say that you on the meds for the rest of your life. Oh, don't you just love that? Yeah. So there's that too. So obviously we never ever, so that's also a cautionary, we never ever guaranteeing people results. We never ever tell people they're going to heal. We never ever tell people to come off their medication or their vitamins or their supplements. That is none of our business. And you definitely don't want to get yourself raising people's expectations that they're going to heal from something or whatever, because you don't know what's going on in the body physically. And also, there's the other thing. If you've ever read a book by Dr. Bruce Lipton called The Biology of Belief, most of people's illnesses is based on their beliefs, and very little genetics, just by the way. So that's a sidebar. It's not something you need to bring up in LifeWave, but just give you that information that you don't know what those people's choices are. You don't know what their beliefs are. You don't know how they're taking care of their body. You don't know their history. You don't know a lot of things. So please don't ever say, we're going to guarantee you results. You can say, we have seen hundreds of testimonials where people are experiencing changes with their bodies and improvements with their bodies. Improvements with health issues. You can say it like that. There's been substantial improvements, and I've seen a lot of testimonials to that. But how it's going to happen for your body, we don't know. We can't guarantee. All we can suggest to you is try it. Try it for at least 6 to 9 months, and then let's reassess it and see how, what needs to happen after that. And just say some people experience changes very quickly, and it often is not even the change you're expecting. You want like your knee to heal, but all of a sudden you might have clarity of mind and less brain fog. That's not an expectation you would have. Do you know what I mean? So you can give them the health questionnaire and say, okay, like mark down all the things that are going on in your body now, and then let's like assess in 3 months, and then assess in another 6 months, and then you can track the changes in your body. That could be fun to do. And you can suggest it that way. So always talk about track the changes in your body, not like, let's see if you heal. And that we have lots of testimonials where people's conditions have improved. And just do it that way, just so you can manage people's expectations. You've got to be aware of that too when we send out testimonials, that we send someone a testimonial who says like, I've been in pain for 565,000 days, and in 2 seconds I put IceWave on and my pain disappeared. That's not okay. We'll put that in the group as well, Ilana. Thank you. That is not everybody's experience. Some people don't get any change with IceWave the first time they patch. Some people take longer. Some people take longer on X39. You know what I mean? It's like everybody is going to be different. So please be aware of that when you're talking about people's results and changes, that to manage that expectation, that say, okay, there is this video and this is what happens, but it doesn't guarantee that's how your body's going to change. We don't know. Do you know what I mean? Please try. Let's see. Let's track the changes. Let's watch the improvements. Let's do this journey together. And then do it that way, perhaps. Any other questions? Also, any questions around the patch is non-transdermal, which means nothing is going into the body. So that means that it doesn't interfere with any existing medication, supplements, vitamins, whatever people are doing. They can carry on doing whatever they want. They are currently doing. They're just adding on X39 to their health regime. But it doesn't interfere anyway with any of the other treatments that they are using. The only time I put this video in the group today, actually, the only time you don't patch is when you're receiving chemotherapy on that day, because of the detox factors of X39, and also for people that have had organ transplants, because they are on anti-rejection drugs, and you don't want to detox their body from that, because then they may start rejecting the organ. So those will be the 2 times that you would suggest to people not patch. Also, sometimes people are allergic to the adhesive on the patch. It's only about 5% that happens. If it does, they can patch over their clothes. So if you're patching your X39 below your belly button, you can put it on your underwear. So that helps with that. There's also sometimes people detox quickly. If you have someone that's detoxing too fast, then they can either push through, increase their water intake and their electrolytes, because often it's because we're not hydrated enough that you're detoxing uncomfortably, if that makes sense. Detoxing would be nausea, upset tummy, headaches, that kind of thing, feeling really weird in your body. So suggest they increase the water and drink some electrolytes. If it's really uncomfortable and they don't want to push through, then just tell them to take the patch off. And instead of patching for 12 hours a day, just patch for 2 or 3 hours, and then maybe increase the amount of time that they're patching so that it increases their body's tolerance. Sometimes people get increased energy and they get like a dizzy because they're not used to so much energy going through their body. And again, you can just suggest to them, okay, just, take the patch off for a while and just let your body adjust a bit, and then patch again the next day. Any other business questions? Your first target when you're getting serious to build a business is to go manager. And to go manager, you're required to do 300 PV in total. And you either do that by buying in at core or advanced and accumulating enough points to get to 300 PV, or buying monthly until you get to 300 PV. That's called a lifetime PV. Once you get to 300 point value, you've done your lifetime PV, which is one of the criteria to go manager. The second part of going manager for you personally is to be buying 2 sleeves a month. Can be any sleeves. You just need a total of 110 PV per month to stay active. Prior to being manager, you only need to buy 1 sleeve per month. You only need 55 PV per month to stay active. But once you're manager, you need 110. If for whatever weird reason you miss a week or you miss 2 weeks and you're not active, you don't have to start again or whatever. You just purchase your patches and you then you're active again. And then you start, although your points will start at nil again, you will start accumulating your points again, and you will get your manager status or your director status back again. No problem. So it's not a train smash. It's unfortunate. And if you've got a lot of PV in your group, I wouldn't suggest that would be a good idea to not stay active. Even if you're not building, stay active, because one day if you do decide to build, you could have a whole leg that has grown while you have just been using points. If you've just been patching and you've just been watching, like I did, I watched for months. I probably lost out on a few PV, but I wasn't watching that side of things. But I was watching the testimonials and watching people's changes with their bodies, that all of a sudden I was like, okay, now I'm ready to build. You could have a whole network already on one of your legs that's been growing while you've been inactive, because the people above you are putting people into your business below you. So I would suggest get committed to staying active. You only need to do it with 55 PV if you're a manager and above 110. And if you don't maintain your manager status, even if you just do 55 PV, you still stay in the binary, you still get the points in your business. So that it's one thing to be aware of, and to every 30 days, you have to do a new order. Put it on auto ship. Once you know that you're using X39 and Aeon or whatever it is every month, put it on auto ship, because then you don't lose your active status or your rank. So manager, so for your personal thing, 300 point value in total from when you started. Once you get to that, that's done. That criteria is there for a lifetime. And then after that, 110 PV per month. Excuse me. Then you're going to introduce 2 new people on your left leg and 2 new people on your right leg. They're called brand partners. You can sign them up on core or above, which gives them their 180 lifetime PV, or they start and they buy X39, 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 and after 4 months, they will have more than 180 PV. They can do that over 4 months. And then for them to remain active, they have to be doing 1 sleeve per month, 55 PV. And you're going to have, so you have 2 brand partners on the left with 180 lifetime PV, maintaining the active status at 55 PV per month, and the same on the right-hand side. So then when you've got those 2, then you qualified as a manager. Learn to go manager. Learn what it takes to go manager, and then teach people in your business to go manager. This is the building block for your business that creates a sustainable, ongoing, creates momentum, generative business, if that makes sense. It'll keep going because you're building a sound structure and a sound platform, whatever you want to call it, for your business. Then to go director, you have 1 brand partner on your left, 1 brand partner on your right that went manager, that have gone manager, and then your director. Then to go senior director is, hold on if I got that right. Director is 1 manager left, 1 manager right. Then to go senior director, you have your manager go director and your other manager go director, and you have 10,000 PV in total going through your business. Thanks. And then after that, once you get to senior director, it's just about building up volume. Now you can have your 2 directors in the same leg. They don't have to be on either side. But when you go manager, you've got to have 2 brand partners left, 2 brand partners right, beating the 180 PV and 55 PV. And then those managers go director, and then but then you're going to have more than 1 manager in each leg. You're going to have lots. That's the point, is to have lots of managers and directors, etc. So you can have two directors on one leg with your 10,000 PV and you can go senior director. I'm not going to talk more than that because it gets too much. But basically, your focus is to go manager and then teach people in your business to go manager who want to build a business. Okay, cool. Ridwana?
I know, I'm just saying cool.
Oh,
Manager making
oh,
the
right.
team.
It's a thumbs up. Okay. I was like, oh, there's a question. Cool, thank you. I didn't look at the icon properly. So when you are building a business, make sure you stay active and work with the people that are ready to get going. What else? Any other questions? We're actually cool. Alistair, hi.
Hi, Jenny. Good evening, everybody. Awesome presentation so far.
Thank
I
you.
just love talking about this sort of thing. I could do it for hours and hours and hours. It's just, you're just saying all the right things at the right time. But for my side, I just want to add two things. My wife, Jenny, and I went up to St. Helena a couple of months ago now.
Yeah.
And we were there for 2 days. And in 2 days, we went to a couple of pizza places. We went to some other restaurants. We did quite a bit of walking on the beach. And in those 2 days, we spoke to 27 people.
Wow.
We patched two of them, and we had two miracle instant cures. One had a pain throughout the body. We patched her on the hip, and within a couple of minutes, she said, "It's gone. No pain, gone."
Yeah. Did you patch with IceWave or
No,
Aeon?
we patched her with IceWave.
Okay.
And they just say that they haven't got any money, they can't enter. So I said, that's fine. Just give it time. We'll eventually get around to, sorting things out, and you'll have enough money, and soon we'll be able to get you involved.
Yeah.
The other person had difficulty breathing, problems with her lungs. We put an Aeon in the middle of her chest.
Mm.
And the next breath that she took, she said,
Wow.
I don't believe it. This pain is gone.
Wow.
Also wouldn't sign up,
Amazing.
hasn't got enough money.
Okay.
Went back and saw them this weekend. And she said, I've got you in my little black book. When I've got the money, I'll come back to you and we'll take it on from there.
Yeah. Amazing.
But somebody was saying, can you run out of people to talk to? No, never. There are just so many people out there that need this stuff that there are always people, that you can chat to.
Yeah.
Questions from my side. You said that your upline will put people underneath you and that will build your points value or your business value, correct?
It does add to your business volume, correct?
Okay, so I've talked you right into a trap. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jenny.
It's okay.
to put you in this
okay.
position.
Watch me weasel out of this.
But,
watch this. Yeah, come.
I know, but this is what I'm talking to you about it because I want to know how to weasel out of it as well. So we joined on the 4th of July.
Okay.
And we've been patching religiously ever since then.
Okay.
But we have some pretty prominent people in our upline, and we don't have a single person from the upline put into our business in 6 months, is it? Yeah, in 6 months. So how does that happen? Where does this story come from that your upline can build into your business? I don't believe that.
Maybe the person
my
that
upline
sponsored you were the first person they put into their left leg or their right leg rather. That's possibly what happened. So
regardless if we're in their left leg or right leg, they must at some stage put more people in that leg.
Only one.
And over 6 months, I can't believe that nobody above them has put anybody in there.
Okay. So I'm not sure where you
Weasel.
are in the business. So we're going to have to we'll put that as a caveat because this might not be it. But now I'm going to use me as an example. Okay. So let me use me as an example. So I was sponsored by Candice.
Yes.
And so it's Candice, Deb, I think it's Candice, her mom, her dad, probably a couple of other family members, Deb and myself on her left leg.
Right.
Okay. Then, so the people in between, only Deb and Candice are building in my upline on that leg. And they are putting people into that left leg.
Right.
Now, so I put people in the left leg as well. People above me put people but I don't have a lot of people putting people in the left leg above me. It's just Candice and Deb at this stage.
Yeah.
On my right leg, I started on my own. So say, for example, I put Jane in first, and then I put in a couple of other business partners, but brand partners, and then those people start putting in that. But the people above me do not build into that leg. I start that leg on my
No,
own.
no,
So
I appreciate that.
you might be in one of those legs that it was started. A new leg was started with you as the first person that person sponsored.
Yes,
Possibly.
yes, but in the leg that you started building your own business, where you put more people into that leg, did those people get business points underneath them? So therefore, any upline can build into it, all your upline can build into either leg, but if you're in their left leg, you'll only get points from their left leg. If you're in their right leg, you'll only get points from their right leg.
Yeah. But but the two legs that you have, if you're here,
Yeah.
you've got these two legs, you'll get volume from both. That's the point
Yes,
of
but
having two legs.
let's talk about upline. So
Yeah.
we're either in the upline's left leg or right leg.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the upline is only putting people into the leg that I'm not into. And the upline goes through many people. I mean, there must be 100 people above me in the upline. Has nobody
Yeah, of
up
course.
there?
I mean, there's many layers. I mean, there's like, I think
Okay, so
Harvey's
why
like
have we got
45
nobody
levels
underneath
above
us
us.
from those people? Sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. Just let me think about the structure here.
Can I help you?
Can you give me 2 secs?
Right.
Oh, okay. There is the possibility that all those people that are in our upline have their South African business via one leg, and it's not two. I probably have to draw it out for you, and I would actually have this conversation with you, but if people are like done with the call and they don't have any other questions, they're welcome to hop off. You don't need to stay on, because I'm going to have to work
Okay,
this
but
out
we can do that another
going.
time so as not to waste everybody's time. So
I
that was
think
just,
it'd be easier if I can draw it out on a bit of paper. If you can give me like what you know about your business, and I can draw it out on paper. But I don't want to do it in this forum, if
okay.
that makes
No, that's
sense.
fine.
Yeah.
I believe I know a lot, but I'm always happy to learn. That's why I get onto so many of the
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah. Look, just also know that there will be a lot of people in your upline. Not everybody's building. Just
No,
because
for
they're your
sure.
upline doesn't mean to say they're putting people into
Yes.
the business. You know,
Yeah,
there's like a lot of people that are not active because they're just using patches.
yes. But I did say there's some pretty prominent builders in the upline. So yeah, I would have expected something to happen there. Is it maybe not perhaps because when we accumulate business volume, it's only from the first 3 generations?
No, you generate business volume from your entire organization underneath you on either leg.
Down to
But
20 generations?
your matching bonuses only get paid through 3 levels.
Yes,
So
okay,
your
I
cycle
agree with
bonuses,
that. On the cycle bonus, does it go
total,
down to 20 levels?
it goes as far as it
Forever?
goes. Yeah.
Wow.
But remember that your cycle bonuses are limited depending on what rank you're on. So if
Correct.
you're a manager, it's limited to $1,500 per week. And if you're senior presidential director, it's limited to $25,000 per week.
Yeah.
But then you get the matching bonuses in addition, and the matching bonuses go down 3 levels.
It's a fantastic compensation plan. Jenny, I heard the other day that you're in Komaki. I'm in Thornton, next to Pinelands.
Okay.
So one of
Not too
these
far
days,
away.
we're going to make a dry and come round and chat to you.
Well, you might have to go to Noordhoek though, because I'm moving to Noordhoek in 3 weeks' time.
Excellent. That's not a
So
problem
I'm
to
then
us
a
at
bit
all. We were
closer.
there on Saturday.
Yeah.
No, just before Saturday. Sometime last week we were in Noordhoek. Good. Happy moving. And thanks for a great presentation.
You're very welcome. And if you're welcome to give me a buzz, and then we can draw this out and I can figure out what's going on for you. No problem.
Lovely. Look forward to meeting you.
Okay.
Thanks,
cool.
Jen.
Okay. Anybody got any other quick questions? So basically build your
David's
business
call
in
at
blocks.
9, right?
Yeah, we've got a corporate call with LifeWave,
That's...
David Schmidt at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I got that one.
And he's got some really fantastic, pleasure, Lana. He's got some fantastic things to talk about. I'll find the email and we'll copy it into the group in case people didn't get the email.
I'm going to send it through now.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
just
Thanks,
do it
Deb.
now.
Thanks, Deb,
Sure.
Deb. Okay, everybody. So we do this every Wednesday night at 7. Please bring your questions. Please bring your new people. Please help people get orientated. We'll start the first half with talking about patches. If people just want to patch, we'll handle that first. And then the people that want to do business, we'll handle that second. So hopefully we take care of everybody's interests.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for your questions,
Thanks,
everybody.
Jen.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
Thanks,
Have
everybody.
fun.